First guest on this topic, Illinois Congressman Adam Kinzinger, who sits on the House Foreign Affairs Committee. And this part of your resume, I want to get in there because you have been all over the world in service of this country and its military. So we can really go deep with you on some of the issues. I'm going to get to the politics a little bit later. How does somebody fire 236 shots?
I mean, at the time period, somebody that's just motivated to kill a bunch of people. That'll take whatever, if you have a 30-round clip, 8 clips, and they just obviously are focused on one thing, and that is inflicting as much injury as humanly possible and death.
You fought in war. It's almost warlike.
Yeah,
in his behavior.
Yeah, and it's just straight up evil, and it's somebody that walks in, and you know, at least in war, a fight is against an enemy, right? Here, this is a fight against what? Against innocent people praying in church. And it just goes to show that there is deep-seated evil in this person. Something made him snap to this level, and it's just heartbreaking.
Well, and he'd been building up with it. I mean, most of us tonight in the news are walking around with this thing called a manifesto.
Yeah.
And he calls it birth rates, birth rates, birth rates. It's all about the birth rates to change.
Yeah.
And having more people who are not Muslim and more people who are not people of color, whites, making more babies. I mean, that's a manifesto.
Yeah.
He's desperate for attention, obviously. It's 87 pages. He's streaming live. How do we fight this new kind of war against those who would do evil against us when they can leverage social media? They can show the world, Congressman, what they do.
It's tough because you don't know what's in somebody's heart until they begin to show something, right? You could be thinking anything you want, and we have no technology that can tell what you're thinking. So if somebody is developing this deep-seated level of hate and these intentions, you don't know that until they take the first step.
But he had expressed it. So is there anything we can do? You know, Facebook put out a statement to Fox News today that they're looking for these sorts of things. Look, I don't want to overblow it. There are algorithms that can push you out based on how you vote and your values and your politics. Can't we find, isn't there an algorithm that can find this happening simultaneously?
I guess you'll have to ask the technology folks, but that's the issue, is now you have this information, which is good in many ways, where people can share information and pictures, and you also have where it can be done for evil. This man obviously wanted attention, and he used these 50 people's deaths to try to make himself sickly famous. And so the question is, do you ban live streaming? Well, you can't really do that because somebody else will come in and do it. The problem is there's a rot in society, and not everywhere in the world, where people will do anything for fame and celebrity, and where they no longer believe that there is a God of this universe and they have nothing to be accountable to. And when you put those very toxic things together, really bad things happen.
Yeah, I want to toggle now to the politics. The president, after signing a veto so that he can get his border wall funding on the southern border, what he's describing as an emergency there. We talked about it this hour. But he also made news when he was asked about whether or not he thought white nationalism was on the rise. And, you know, I just want to get your comments on that. He said, I don't think so. We played it just moments ago.
Well, I certainly think, from what I'm seeing, it looks like it's increasing. I think hate of all kinds are increasing, and it seems like white nationalism as well. The other problem is now white nationalists they're feeling like, you know, they can put out information on the internet and find anybody else that has the kind of belief system they do, and they can connect.
I want to step in real quickly on this. Can we put up the former vice president's tweet today, Joe Biden, whether it is anti-Semitism in Pittsburgh, racism in Charlottesville, or the xenophobia and Islamophobia today in Christchurch? Violent hate is on the march at home and abroad. We cannot stand by as mosques are turned into murder scenes. Look, an important comment. I'm seeing, though, he hasn't gotten in, but other 2020 presidential hopefuls getting in and talking tonight. Is this turning into a political
This
topic?
is what angers me, and it's ludicrous, is that tweet, it's fine. What I worry about, though, and others have done it, is they're connecting this to President Trump. I mean,
are they? I didn't see his name there.
Literally, though, but that's the beginning of what they're trying to do. Literally this morning, as we're getting information that this happened, the discussions on some other networks was...
I watched you on that network.
Yeah, and it was, does Trump bear responsibility? There's one person that bears responsibility, Two, maybe. One is the guy that shot, the other is the devil. Because for whatever reason, this guy decided to kill 50 people. It wasn't Donald Trump that told him to do it, nothing about Trump's policies, but in a desperation to try to connect this, some people are making that jump. It's wrong, and it absolutely should be stopped. We have to be way more responsible.
He mentions the president in his 87 manifesto, along with Dylan Thomas's words from 1951. There's a lot that he calls into play. Don't go gentle into that. Good night. Congressman Kinzinger, great to see you in person.
You too.
Thank
you
so much for
Anytime.
being here.